Welcome back. This is the lecture for State and Local Government Chapter 2 in your textbook. We're going to be talking about the Texas Constitution. We mentioned it briefly in Lecture 1 because everything that we talk about in terms of the history of Texas, both the actual event history and the political history of Texas, leads up to this Constitution. Our current governing document for the state of Texas is the Constitution of 1876. And what that means is, yes, you're a citizen of the United States of America and you are subject to the Constitution of the United States and the laws of the United States, but you are also a citizen of the state of Texas and you are subject to the Constitution and laws of the state of Texas. If you're actually residing here in El Paso, you are a citizen of both the city of El Paso and El Paso County, and you are subject to the laws of the city of El Paso and El Paso County. You're also subject to other laws such as school district rules and regulations, water districts, and so forth. It gets complicated, and that's why we had that previous lecture on federalism, because in the United States, lots of different government entities claim to govern you and do govern you. But what you need to understand is they don't just govern you and establish rules and regulations for you and for your life, but you're the boss. As a citizen of the United States of America, you're the person who determines what happens with your government by voting. Okay? As a citizen of the state of Texas, you determine what happens in Texas by voting. The same is true with the city of El Paso and the county of El Paso and whatever school district you might live in. So the Constitution of 1876 in the state of Texas is something that was dependent upon the times. It was dependent upon the demographics of the state of Texas in 1876. It was dependent upon the history, and it was dependent upon the economy of Texas. So there's several things that you need to focus on as we talk about the Texas Constitution. You need to remember that we were, in 1876, a rural state. You need to remember that we were coming out of a period that's referred to as Reconstruction after the American Civil War. And you need to understand that as a result of those two major events and other factors, the people who drafted that 1876 Constitution made some changes that still impact you. As a result of the Reconstruction period, where there was a strong central government that Texas citizens quite simply didn't like, we have a highly decentralized government. That means that, believe it or not, the governor of the state of Texas is not the most powerful elected official in the state of Texas. And most political scientists who study Texas will tell you that the most powerful elected official in the state of Texas is the lieutenant governor. And the reason for that is that the governor has very little authority other than to make appointments, political appointments, people who are in charge of the various government entities, agencies in the state of Texas. Agencies such as who serves on the Railroad Commission. Though we elect some commissioners, there are some volunteers who would be appointed. Who serves on the Board of Regents of the University of Texas system? Who serves on the Texas College Coordinating Board that oversees, among other things, the El Paso Community College. So those are the powers basically of the governor. The most important powers of the governor. Yes, the governor can call out the Texas National Guard in case of an emergency and a few other things. But the power truly exists and lies with the lieutenant governor, and that's because the lieutenant governor controls the agenda of the Texas Senate, which means the lieutenant governor controls the budget of the state of Texas. Now, the budget of the state of Texas is approved every 2 years. In fact, the state legislature, including the Senate and the House of Representatives, only meets every 2 years. And the reason for that is that Reconstruction period. Citizens of Texas, in drafting that 1876 Constitution, said, we do not want a permanent seated state legislature because we believe they'll just cause trouble and they'll pass too many laws. We want them to meet for a very short period of time every 2 years. We want them to have less control over our lives, so we want them to have less opportunity to impact our budget and to make laws. This is your state constitution, and those are factors that basically have not changed in over 130, 40 years. So, take a look at Chapter 2, study the Texas Constitution, and your assignment for this chapter, send it to me through Blackboard Course Messages. Your assignment is to write approximately 100 to 150 words on the top 3 factors that impacted the establishment of the 1876 Texas Constitution. Thank you.